All right, a little bit of real talk. What is going on with FPS games? When I look ahead at 2021, I am finally excited because I think the last 7 years, dude, for this genre, it has just been chasing so many trends. And there was a tweet from Xbox saying, it's 2007, you just booted up the box, what are you playing? And it really got me thinking, 2007 through 2014 was unbelievable for FPS games. And if you look at 2014 to now, I'm not saying it's been a bad era. There's been a ton of incredible titles, but my goodness, you can't deny, man, these publishers have been chasing so many trends, and there's little like eras every 2 or 3 years that I think we're finally coming out of. I think that the industry, the publishers, these developers are finally sort of figuring some things out about the trend chasing stuff, and it doesn't always pay off. So again, like, let's look at this real quick. Best 360 first person shooters. Not a perfect spattering of all the games that came out this time, but Halo 3, COD 4, Fallout 3, BioShock, Orange Box, MW2, Battlefield 3, World of War, Bad Company, Reach, Left 4 Dead, Borderlands 2. Of course, you got Vegas and Black Ops 2, Far Cry 2, and I think, yeah, Borderlands, got Titanfall up in there. It was crazy, dude. Like, honestly, what an incredible time to be gaming. So many good FPS titles, and the 360 era was pretty special, at least for me, and I know a lot of you guys too, the older viewers on the channel. Versus 2014 to now, which is just totally characterized by the genre hopping stuff, right? So you had Destiny coming out in 2014, and I think this is the first real big games as a service investment style FPS title. And so far, I think Bungie is the only company that has really done it the best. Obviously, The Division is in there as well, with plenty of copycats and other companies trying to chase it. I mean, look at the news from Anthem this last week. How sad is that to have such a giant project built completely around, chasing that looter shooter investment game, that service style model FPS, sort of. I know it's third person, but it was completely built around the monetization model. It flopped, and there's just not enough, resources to go around to fix that thing. And this is a total example of what's been happening, right? In around the same time, you've got hero shooters, Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege, and every FPS at the time starts implementing that hero shooter style stuff. You've got Black Ops 3 implementing the champion system, and some of it has stuck around. Obviously, when you look at Valorant, you've basically got the roots of the hero shooter mixed in with the elements of CSGO, and there are benefits and downsides to all of these things. Fast forward just a little bit further, the battle royale scene that just totally comes in and blows up massively between H1Z1, PUBG, Apex, and Warzone. There was like 15 other copycat battle royales that came out. If you guys remember that sort of era on Twitch, the big streamers were trying out new battle royale games. It seemed like every 3 or 4 weeks, with most of them not really lasting all that long. Oh my goodness, I just had flashbacks to Lawbreakers and that, was it Radical Heights? Was that the game that lasted all of about 3-4 minutes? Which is a bummer because I loved Lawbreakers. One of those few people, man. I bought a copy of it for my friends, and yeah, rest in peace, Lawbreakers. Now we're in this another like new, different era where you've got Halo Infinite coming out this year with free multiplayer and some other type of thing going on for the campaign, whatever it's going to be. And you look at this, okay, 2007 to 2014, that 360 era. Now, these are just $60 games that come out. You play them on Xbox Live with your friends, or, on PSN or on your PC. And there really wasn't a whole lot of the crazy genre hopping stuff. There is trend chasing. Like, people can definitely look back and go, holy cow, Call of Duty was super big and popular in those years. And many of those games were trying to chase design elements for it. But I don't think it was as jarring as a player because you're not dealing with so many different radically huge shifts in terms of the monetization models and the actual service model. Like, the whole architecture of these games has changed so darn much to fit monetization practices, right? Destiny is an amazing game, and I loved Destiny 1. I'm not as hot on Destiny 2. I still respect it, but it undoubtedly changed the whole way developers and publishers looked at the scene. Instead of creating a game, then making it sequel, you create a universe that really pushes to have people log in every single day. Hero shooters like Overwatch brought in a much larger audience of people who maybe would never play FPS games because they were intimidated to get started with it. But here's that hero they like with the art design or the mechanics that they think are really cool, and they give it a shot. And then Battle Royale totally shakes things up even further, and publishers just want to create nothing but single map Battle Royale titles to chase that emergent gameplay hype. And there's a lot of hype within there. But if you are one of those, traditional FPS fans from the old days, you're left sort of going, what is going on, dude? Why can't we just get like a normal-ish game, like a normal FPS title with a campaign, a traditional multiplayer, and a normal monetization model? And it's because the scene has been in such flux. Everything's been turned on its head. I didn't even talk about, the esports chasing that was going on during this whole time too. A lot of these publishers going, hey, esports is the biggest thing. You've got to create the next biggest esport with a gajillion-dollar tournament behind all of your titles if you want it to succeed. And that has varying levels of sustainability for a lot of these companies and these games. So the state of FPS games in 2021 is we are just coming out the tail end of all this genre trend chasing stuff. And I think it's going to be for the better for FPS players. It's going to probably take a few years, honestly, in full real talk. I don't know. Other than Infinite this year, there's some cool concepts for FPS titles, but big behemoth releases that create and usher in the new era for FPS stuff. Other than Infinite, I don't know what that might be, or something unannounced. The biggest takeaways and the best thing that has happened from this 2014 to now, these last 6-ish years, crossplay. Without a doubt, man, crossplay is something FPS players gotta appreciate. It is so cool to be able to have this more platform agnostic world where you play with your friends regardless of what platform that they are on. We're entering this world where, honestly, I could totally see Halo Infinite coming to other platforms. I know it's gonna be on PC and Xbox, but look at the universe now where players' expectations are you're gonna be able to play Fortnite or Call of Duty or Apex with your buddies on whatever console that they own. That is a very foreign idea 3 or 4 years ago. That is not a concept that I think most people would think would be so readily accepted in the industry. And so I think that is the best takeaway from these last 7 years, and will ultimately pay off huge dividends as player bases get bigger and games that maybe wouldn't have survived as long actually have communities that can thrive for years and years to come. But on the whole, we're finally coming out of the tail end, I think, of all of this very turbulent times for publishers and developers, just chasing all sorts of different things. And that's why I can sort of feel like when I talk to friends, when I talk to you guys on YouTube, plenty of you are saying, there's just not a whole lot I'm that interested in playing right now in the FPS space, which is crazy, because if you think about the amount of amazing titles out right now that are either free or have just ridiculously good multiplayers, it sounds silly, but at the same time, I completely relate with that sentiment. I'm in a similar spot going, I'm kind of ready for the next thing in this genre, in this space. It doesn't have the same heavy hitting feel that 2007 to 14 had, with just heavy hitter after heavy hitter, where it always felt like there was a game to play with your buddies, there was a new release coming, and you sort of knew what to expect in a way. So the state of FPS games in 2021 is both good and sort of off, right? In many ways, lots of good stuff, but at the same time too, all of this trend chasing has backfired in some ways for both the players and the developers. Again, look at Anthem. Look at the host of copycat battle royale games that don't even exist anymore, the copycat hero shooters that are gone, or games that don't even need hero shooter mechanics that just try to fit that into their model because they're like, hey, it's popular, let's go for it. There was still trend chasing back in the day, but I think developers and publishers are hopefully going to wise up, and as we move into 2021, 2022, I think there is a lot to be excited for and a lot of opportunity in the FPS space. The other thing I didn't mention is Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Those are some of the best takeaways from this time frame. And of course, Titanfall 2. Fingers crossed for Titanfall 3. Let me know what you think, state of FPS games in 2021. Any big titles that you're really looking forward to? And are we still going to keep seeing the same trend chasing stuff for monetization or what? All right, we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Follow me on Twitter if you enjoyed, and have a great rest of your day. Talk with you soon.